KC24, local news that matters. This is KC Sunrise.
Right now on KC24 Sunrise, we're tracking fast-moving developments in the Middle East. A joint U.S.-Israeli strike kills Iran's supreme leader.
And deliver the most punishing blow to the terrorists who have waged war against basically civilization.
And Fresno's Iranian-American community weigh in. We have their reaction.
I think we all have one common interest, and that's to see the freedom of Iran.
I danced while I was crying.
We'll have details on these stories coming up. KC24 Sunrise starts now. We have new details on the deadly strikes on Iran. Authorities in the U.S. and Israel spent weeks tracking the movements of Iran's supreme leader before the strike on Saturday morning that killed him. U.S. Central Command says at least 4 U.S. service members have died. Our Washington correspondent Vinay Simlat joins us live. Good morning, Vinay. What more have we learned?
Yeah, Louise, Secretary Pete Hegseth outlined for us what happened that led to the killing of those 4 service members. He said there were attacks on U.S. facilities, and he said the U.S. air defenses were working, but there's something he called a squirter, something that made it through the air defenses and happened to hit a tactical operations center. U.S. Central Command had initially said that 3 American service members had died, 5 were seriously wounded. That number has now changed. They said one of the severely wounded succumbed to their injuries, so the number is 4 American service members killed in action. The war is widening across the Middle East after U.S. and Israeli airstrikes in Iran. Iran's retaliation targeted Israel, a British military base in Cyprus, and closed airports across the Middle East. The attacks follow a joint U.S. and Israeli operation targeting Iran's leadership and nuclear sites early Saturday morning. A barrage of missiles killed top Iranian officials, including the supreme leader Ayatollah Khamenei.
This wretched and vile man had the blood of hundreds and even thousands of Americans on his hands.
U.S. Central Command says 4 U.S. service members were killed in action. President Donald Trump says more could follow.
We pray for the full recovery of the wounded and send our immense love and eternal gratitude to the families of the fallen. And sadly, there will likely be more. Before it ends, that's the way it is. Likely be more, but we'll do everything possible where that won't be the case.
Pro-Iranian regime protesters clashed with security at U.S. embassies across the Middle East. On Capitol Hill, reaction to the U.S. military operation is split mostly along party lines.
It's a noble cause to stand up to terrorism.
The notion that this was an attack to stop Iran's nuclear ambitions is a joke.
And reacting to some of the criticism from Democrats, Secretary Pete Hegseth said this is not nation building. He said the president thinks the nation building of the last 20 years is, quote, dumb. He said, quote, this is the opposite. General Dan Kane said that President Trump gave the go order at 3:38 in the afternoon on Friday. The attack began at 1:15 Eastern Time Saturday morning. That's 9:45 a.m. in Tehran.
Vinay, Iranians have shut off access to the Strait of Hormuz. 20% of the world's oil flows through there. How will that affect the world economy?
Yeah, oil prices have gone up about 9% here in the United States, and officials say a prolonged conflict could lead to higher gas and oil prices.
All right, Vinay Simlat reporting live for us from Washington this morning. Thank you very much. Reactions are pouring in from Fresno city leaders and lawmakers. Mayor Jerry Dyer releasing a statement thanking the U.S. military. It says in part, quote, the Iran regime has been in power for far too long, resulting in tens of thousands of innocent Iranians being killed. Mayor Dyer goes on to say he hopes the people of Iran will unite and overthrow the regime. Fresno County supervisors are also weighing in. Gary Bredefeld released this statement saying, we will finally end this murderous terrorist regime and bring peace and stability to the region. May God bless our courageous military and bring them home safely. Fresno County Supervisor Luis Chavez saying while removing a repressive dictator from power is a good thing, the power to declare war rests with Congress, not the president. He adds the president campaigned on not entangling the U.S. in foreign wars, and this feels like the American public was misled. And across the U.S., people took to the streets almost as soon as news broke of the attack on Iran, including here in the Central Valley. Some members of Fresno's Iranian-American community say the past 48 hours mark a turning point for Iran's future. Our Viviana Ivan joins us in studio to explain. Good morning, Viviana.
Good morning. Well, demonstrators lined Blackstone Andes near River Park Sunday, waving American and Iranian flags, holding signs and playing music. Well, they say they're united in support of the regime change in Iran and U.S. involvement in the killing of Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei. Well, California is home to the largest Iranian-American population in the country. Many here fled decades ago and still have family overseas. Some told us communication has been cut off with limited internet and no way to reach loved ones.
I unfortunately haven't been in contact with my family for a few days now. You see us dancing, but you should also know that we are crying inside. Like when I heard the news yesterday about, Khamenei's death, I danced while I was crying.
Organizers call this a critical moment, saying they plan to continue demonstrating as emotions remain high. Reporting live in studio, Viviana Yvonne, KC24 Local News That Matters.
Thank you very much.